Week 13 officially in the books. The Panthers get their well-deserved and long-awaited bye week. Welcome to Panther Talk. Anish Shroff, Jim Zoki, Eugene Robinson, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Joining us, as always, Dave Canales. I know you guys are excited about the bye week, but what a way to go into the bye week. Short week, LA Rams. You've had almost 24 hours to digest kind of what took place, shorthanded on defense. When you kind of look back, what did Sunday reveal about this team?
Unbelievable team win, determination, overcoming adversity, and then opportunistic, coming up with some huge plays on defense, taking points off the board with the early interception, that Derek Brown batted up to Nick Scott there, and then Mike Jack just pattern recognition and making sure he comes up with the catch and scampering down the sideline for that one, and then, of course, finishing the game on that last sack fumble by Derek Brown, and DJ Wanham picks it up, and we were all pretty excited. I might have had contact with the official on that one, and I apologize.
Watch out.
I was one of the I was one of the people that was standing in the white, really excited about the play, and felt horrible about it. Because the official went down, and so I was able to go up to him afterwards, and that could have impacted the game, and we have to make sure that we're smarter in that spot, and I got to make sure I get out of the guy's way. Because what if it turned into a touchdown, or what if it brought them back to a point where they could get the ball back and get into a field goal situation and send it to overtime? So, but anyway, it was just an amazing finish by the group, and just a really tough physical football game, just like we like it.
You're the head coach. Does that cost you in kangaroo court, or do you make the rules?
I don't know. I don't make those rules, so we'll see.
Well, Coach, when you were in the locker room, you said that you guys have not played your best football yet. Yep. There's more to come.
I truly believe it, and that's always got to be the pursuit, is to find our best, the constant weekly growth that we're looking for. And I'm talking about assignment football. I'm talking about guys being where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there in all phases, and to play that kind of clean football that's out there for us. That's our goal, and that's our mission, is to continue to improve fundamentally. It is the teams that improve on the most basic level at this point of the year are the ones who play their best football in December.
Coach, I want to go to this deep over by McMillan when he went across the field. Did he make any adjustments on that? Because as he went across on that deep over, he looked like he angled up towards deeper down the field, as opposed to making the deep over became more like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, he was adjusting to the throw, and he basically just had two guys crossing on the play action pass, and Xavier was going over to the left. The post safety chose him, so all of a sudden there was no help deep, and the corner was kind of in the low hip on T-Mac. So Bryce saw that, layered the ball a little deeper. So T-Mac was really just adjusting to the pass because Bryce was trying to throw him open to space for the touchdown, and it worked out great.
Just to follow up on that, the 2 4th and shorts that are long touchdowns, you would think by just the nature of it, those are lower percentage plays throwing deep. How much confidence you must have had to dial those up and trust the guys to come through with those plays?
Yeah, we liked the matchup. Brad Idzik and I and Mike Bercovici were kind of the third down cadre that gets together and tries to find our different matchups. And we liked the fact that those corners are really talented corners, but they're smaller than our guys. Our guys are huge, and we decided to put Jalen Coker one-on-one on that side, and we got the look that we wanted. They were in a man-to-man look, and Bryce just delivered the ball perfectly so he could run it in, and really cashed in on some of those opportunities.
When you look back at the third quarter in particular, it seemed like that kind of set the tone for the entire second half. They had the ball for, 3 plays? How much of that was intentional, the way you guys used that 13 personnel and tried to wear out that front for L.A.?
Yeah, just riding the momentum of what was happening up front. We were getting good movement, and our backs were running hard. And I felt like this is the type of moment that we could take advantage of. Let's keep the Rams offense on the sideline, but also let's lean into what's working for us here. On top of it, did start raining pretty good in that time, so I had to be really selective with the passes that we had. But thanks to Goody and the run pod putting together a great plan, we had some variety in our different personnels and different looks, and the big boys up front executed, and we were able to stay out there for a while.
Coach, I was talking to Jordan Gross, and we were talking about the offensive line and how the offensive line needs to be in step with the quarterback on his drops. And so can you go over what that looks like for the offensive line? Do they get back deeper? Do they set short? What does that look like when the quarterback's going through a 3, 5, 7-step drop?
Yeah, it's all tied into whether we're throwing it quickly. How long is this pass coming out? So they're actually, people may not know, but our offensive linemen are listening for the pass concepts. They don't need to know exactly what the pattern looks like. They just know in this series, we got to make sure, hey, this is a 7-step drop. I have chip help. I don't. So they have to be tied into some of those things. And, if it's coming out really quickly, they can jump set a guy, keep him at the line of scrimmage. And so that all is tied in with Bryce's drops.
The running game, obviously a huge commitment with the two running backs getting the 35 carries and typical fickleness. You hear Chuba being chanted in the crowd where Rico was the star before. This was an even split in this game. Was that kind of the mindset you had going into that might be an even split as far as the two backs and their work?
Yeah, just trying to make sure that they both have an opportunity to impact the game in a positive way. And, the way that we were, trying to continue to do it is Chuba's been our primary third down back now for a couple weeks. He's excellent in protection. And then we do run the ball when it's third and whatever. It could be third and long on a draw play. It could be third and medium or short, trying to give them pass looks and then hand the ball off. So he gives us that great opportunity to be balanced and have variety in there. And then, of course, just making sure that they're fresh, making sure that they're going out there and they don't have to think about saving anything in the tank. Just cut it all loose every single play. We'll roll you guys out there in and out. It takes being efficient on third and fourth down to get more opportunities to run the ball. You see the contrast of the Niners game, 1 for 7 on third down. Then you go back to this week and we were 56% or something like that between third and fourth down. More opportunities to run the ball, get into your play actions, and open up the playbook.
As you move into the month of December, more cold weather football, even here in Charlotte, having Chuba back to being Chuba. How big is that for your run game?
It's huge. It's huge, and this is exactly the vision. This is what we need, and to be able to play this time of year, and just speaking historically, not just necessarily for us, but speaking historically, it's why the commitment to the run game early in the season, it all pays dividends because the guys have a rhythm about what you're doing. They understand how we're attacking things. The receivers are a part of this. And it's the teams in December with weather in different ways. You give yourself a chance to continue to be successful and be balanced because of the commitment to the run game.
Coach, Derek Brown made his presence known all day long yesterday. When you look at Derek Brown, who does he remind you of? I mean, I got some names that come to mind. Cortez Kennedy I played with, and Warren Sapp. Who does he remind you of?
I've had a chance to coach a bunch of good defensive linemen. I really just can't compare anybody to Derek Brown. He's one of a kind. He is big and powerful, and it's the motor. That's the part that really impresses me with him is for such a big man, he chases screens down. He comes out the stack and he'll show up on a pass concept, after the rush, and really just that kind of character and leadership that he shows for us is something that just has been really unique and really special for me to watch.
Obviously, credit to the players, but to talk about your defensive coaching staff and special teams for that matter, with all the moving parts in a short week with different guys moving with the injuries and so forth there, what a credit to have such sound schemes that we could see defensively, everything covered up down the field, and special teams really not missing much of a beat except that one kick return.
Yeah, an excellent job of pressing into the game plan. It was not perfect. We let some stuff out there, and, we missed the matches on the back half a couple of times, between the linebackers and the DBs. But in general, guys were where they were supposed to be. And coming off of that short week, not being able to really get into our running and practicing until Friday, because of the quick turnaround. But the guys were really intent on being focused on the game plan, and then came out there with a couple of new guys helping us out on special teams as well.
Mm-hmm. Coach, did the short week help? I mean, my contention is that when it's a short week, man, you have to focus and get in, and you got to really focus. So did that help at all?
I don't know if it helped. I know that the guys met the challenge and were up for it. And you're right. In those moments, you have to just say, okay, what do I have to do today? And make sure that you're all in on what's happening today. Win the day. Have a 1-0 mentality every single day.
Coach, Lathan Ransom got his first career start when you watched the film. What was your assessment of his play?
Physical, very aggressive. Throwing his body around just like we love. He plays the game right. He's got some stuff he'd be up here telling you that he would like to correct, and those things are being talked about and adjusted. But I just love the style of play. It just continues to show up. He had some amazing hits in the game on Kyron Williams and the backs, and they had some great runs too. It was a cool battle to watch and to see Lathan out there playing at the safety spot and showing up and helping his team.
And then what did Richardson give to you also?
Oh, just versatility. and he's really in tune with what we're doing, a guy that communicates really well in the back half, and he did a good job on the opportunities that he got.
Last thing, just the atmosphere of that game, making Bank of America a tough place for opponents to come in. I felt like the rain was almost energizing. The crowd was into it. We're talking about the chanting and so forth. The players responded to it as well. But as a coach and just looking out at that, what did it feel like to just make this a tough environment for an opposing team to come into?
It was wonderful, and it definitely was something that you could feel. The delay of game at the end, they were so loud, and even just in the third quarter on, there were third and fourth down rush opportunities where they had to go silent, and they were having to communicate quickly. They were up against the clock. That's an advantage for our rush group. That's an advantage for our linebackers and safeties as they're trying to disguise different things. The longer we can get them into account, we can hold things and try to mask what we're doing a little bit more. But I could feel it. It was amazing when the run game got going. The crowd was behind it, and we can feel that energy and play off of that momentum, and so it was a major impact.
As you get ready for the bye and you kind of get ready for the last 4 games with everything in front of you, you've checked off a lot of boxes in terms of progress and improvement this season with this team. What's the next rung on the ladder for the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah, how long can we maintain that championship mentality, 1-0 mentality? And every game is so important. We're going to come off the bye. We can play the Saints, who played us great the first time, and they had a great game plan. They executed well that day. So we just have to be focused on the Saints when we get back and take advantage of this bye week, make sure we put something back into the tank, and show up with that intentionality to be right back to our focus, getting right back to really good football.
Get some rest, and hopefully the guys can heal up a little bit. Panthers head coach Dave Canales, you've been listening to Panther Talk.